So to install Ionic, first we need to install Node.js. Okay, need not worry about what is Node.js and what we'll do. Node.js is used for backend development, but also just to install Ionic, we need Node.js for the npm. Okay, so if you want to install Node.js, you can go to nodejs.org and install it from there. But make sure you install version 8. Then after installing Node.js, you will install Ionic. So now I think I should proceed with installing of Ionic. The Node.js is already installed on my system, and just to check once if it is installed correctly or not, I will just open my terminal. If you are a Windows user, you can open your command prompt. Then just run node space slash. As soon as I run this command, it tells me the node version which I have. Just make sure all of your Node.js version is V8 point something. It doesn't matter what is after 8, but it should be V8. If it is not, then just let us know in the comments. Chat will help you out. Okay, so now it's installed. I will clear it. Okay, now I will check npm. Npm is nothing but, okay, yeah, it will work with Node version 14, but the version of Ionic which we are using today is Ionic 3. The latest version is Ionic 4, and Ionic 3 is a lot easier compared to Ionic 4 and 5, since they are purely either Angular or React. And Ionic 3 is most and best stable with version Node version 8. Okay, so now since I have installed Node.js is checked, I will now install, see if npm is also installed correctly or not. For that, I will run npm space -v. npm is nothing but Node Package Manager. It used to manage all the modules of the nodes. Okay, so npm is installed correctly. Now I will begin with installing of Ionic. Okay, so for that command is Ionic I space -g npm, sorry, npm I -g space Ionic @3. Okay, so I wrote this command. The first is npm. Npm calls the Node Package Manager to install. I stands for I. It will install your Ionic framework. G-G. Okay, so pay attention to this. This is what will install your Ionic framework globally. It will install Ionic framework in your, so that you can access it from your entire system from anywhere, not just 1 or 2 folders. Okay, so make sure to type this -g, then Ionic @3, which will install your version 3. So now I will press just enter, and it's started downloading and installing Ionic. Okay, so as you can see, Ionic is installed on my system. Its version is 3.20. Okay, you are installing. Okay, so 3.20.1. This is the Ionic version which we will be using today. Just to confirm it once already it is installed, just to confirm and check it if it is installed or not, I will run one command. Let me clear the screen. Ionic space -u. Okay, this gave me the version as I saw earlier. So that means my Ionic framework is installed on my system. So that was the entire purpose of installing Node.js and npm. Now though that Ionic is installed, I will not be using Node.js anywhere throughout the app development. Okay, so let me clear this. Is this visible, or should I increase the size? Let me increase it. Okay, so now Ionic is installed on our systems. So now we will begin with development Ionic app. So to start with, or to begin with any Ionic app, you need to write this command in your terminal: Ionic start. Ionic is calling your Ionic framework to begin, and start will initialize an app. You will Ionic space start, and I will press enter. So the first thing is it asks, is your project name? I don't think so I need to explain what this question is. So I will, since we are today building a to-do list app, I will name this app as to-do list. To-do list. Press enter. Okay, now Ionic has given me a few options. These are starter packs. Basically, Ionic provides you templates to begin with. The first one is tab. So if you begin with this template, then there will be there will be a tab at the bottom of your app to already provided by Ionic, and you can build on top of it. Second is blank. The app is completely blank. You get only one page. We will begin with this blank. Third is side menu. As soon as you start with this and you run your app, you will see a side menu. on the left hand side, swipeable side menu to make your task a little bit easier. Then these rest are you don't need to worry about. This just a tutorial or demo apps from Ionic, so you don't need to worry about. You can explore later on if you want, but no need to worry about. So use arrow keys to move up and down, and go to blank and press enter. So now this is downloading and okay. So now this is asked for integration with Cordova. Cordova, as I mentioned earlier, it is used to. I will press yes and then move on. So Cordova is used to integrate all your native functionalities to your app. So I will use any storage today. So for that, I will have to press yes. Now it is running npm command, and it is initializing all the projects, creating all the projects, folder, directory structure, and whatever is node modules, whatever is required for the app, it is doing right now. It should be done in around 2 minutes. Let's wait for it. Okay, so it's done. Now it is asking for Ionic Pro SDK. We won't bother about it, and it's not our concern today. So I'll just press no and move on. Okay, so my app is created. It's just as easy as it looks, and in just few steps I have created an app. Now I will build this app, the to-do list app from which we are getting. So I will clear my screen. Now I will move to the project directory, and I will open VS Code. Hope everyone has installed VS Code on their systems. So just type code space dot. So as you can see, this has opened VS Code for me. If you are following along, the command is same for Windows and Linux or any other operating system if you are doing so. Okay, so now if you will see here, there are few folders you can see, few folders and few files. So this is what basically is the project structure of Ionic. If you create any Ionic app, this will what at first you will get. The first is node modules. You don't need to worry about that. It's just for all the modules and structures it's using. So it's for Ionic. We don't need to worry about that. Second is resources. It's a bit important, but again, if you don't need to open or worry do anything about it. It's just a few different contents for Android and iOS, and general for like for every app you have an icon in your menu or app drawer, and so that icon is placed here. You can change it if you want. And there is splash. If you launch the app, there is a 1 to 2 second delay on every app. So at that time, whatever you see is the splash screen. So that is again, you can change it if you want, but we will not do it today. That is not our concern today. So that is resources folder. The third one is SRC. This is the folder where you will do the most of the work or basically develop the entire app. So you will need not get out of this SRC folder for the time being. Okay, so after SRC we have this is git ignore. If you know git, then I'm sure you know git ignore, but if you don't know, no need to worry about it. You won't bother about it. The third, then next file is config.xml. Make sure you don't touch this file, don't open this file, don't delete anything of this file. This is file has all the configuration of the entire Ionic app. Yeah, it has version 1, it has Ionic ID, the app name, and a little bit description, and all of these things are needed to develop your Ionic app properly. So make sure you do not touch this file at any cost. And these are packaged out again related to Node, so we need not worry about it. So now we will move on to a little bit SRC folder. SRC folder has as you can see few files and folders. So the first folder is app. Okay, so what this folder has, it is one of the root component of your app. It is one of the important and root folder. Okay, so app folder has app.html file, as you can see. So it is the main template for the app. This is the area from which I knows where to begin. Okay, so the root page, if I open this, here it is root page, and this root page is assigned as to the home page. Okay, so this is an important folder. You need not to worry about this too much or touch it. Then the second file is .scss file. This is the file where you will put all your CSS. If you know HTML or CSS, like so, CSS is used to style the websites. Similarly, we will use SCSS to style here. The full form of SCSS is SAS CSS, SAS Cascading Style Sheets. Okay, so this is where you will do all your styling for the app. So the next file is app.component.ts. This is the first component which gets loaded in our app, and typically it's an empty shell for all the other components to be loaded. If you are not understanding these things, need not worry about it. We will not bother doing anything from this, at least today. Okay, so but just so you know, it has this splash screen as I mentioned earlier. The status bar on your app, if you're using phone, you have a status bar at the top. So these are all these components imported for the sake of the app. We need not worry about it. As I mentioned earlier, the root page is written here. So the root page defined in component.ts's homepage, which is the first page we will see. Okay, now the next file is app.module.ts. So Ionic uses Angular under the hood, basically a slightly modified version till version 3. From version Ionic 4 and 5, that is just pure Angular or React, whichever you want to use. So till version 3, it's just a modified version of Angular. So this app.module.ts is the root module. It is one of the important module. It has all your page declared, all your native functionalities you are using, all will be declared and used here. So you need not delete anything from here. If there will be any usage, I will inform you. So this is the main and important root folder. Do not delete, do not modify, don't do anything with app folder. The second folder is assets. The assets has your icon. If you are using any icons throughout your app, you will put in this icons folder. If you are using any image, you will put this in images folder, like for any to display any image, or if you are getting an image for the user, or just the profile picture, you will put in assets folder. Now next is pages folder. This is where you will put all your pages. Since there is only home page now, so it has only the one folder, and VS Code is open directly this. So every page has three components. First one is HTML, second one is CSS, and the third one is .ts file. So TS stands for TypeScript. It is a superscript of JavaScript, as JavaScript is subscript of TypeScript. Okay. So okay, so this is your TypeScript. So this TypeScript will compile into JavaScript, but TypeScript is compared to a slightly better and strong type language. I will tell about this in a short while. Let me get to the HTML. So if you know HTML or did anything in this, okay, so this is the HTML file, basically of your home page. So this is where you will put what all the components or things you want in your app to be visible to the user. So this is where all your things you will put. Then we have .ss file. As I told earlier, you will be used to style the page. This .ss file, then TypeScript .ts file. This is where this is what basically let's say makes your page a bit more interactive. Okay, so like in web development, you use JavaScript to make a page more interactive, to make the page come alive. So if you press a click on button, it redirects to a different page or something. That is done by JavaScript at the back. JavaScript code is not visible to the user. Only HTML and CSS are visible. Not the code, but the result. So JavaScript will function at the back. So this is where your all the function and everything will run. Okay, so this is where we will write a few functions, and if you want to navigate to a different page, we will write it here. Okay, so it has a few imported files, snap controller, which will be used to navigate to a different page. If you are using VS Code, if you just hover it, you will see its description. Then constructor, this is class. I'm assuming since all of you are in second year now, so I hope you all know what a constructor is by now. So that is this same constructor where we have declared the variable, its scope, and this variable is now bind with this nav controller. So whatever functionality this nav controller module has will be using from this variable. Then this is constructor. If you want to initialize every time you open this page or come back to this page, then you can write it here. And this is where you will write this area where you will write all of your functions, codes or navigation or say, let's just say some calculation if you want to do. I don't know why, but if you want to do, you can do it here. So this is where we will be using. Okay, again, no need to worry about it. I will do everything in front of you and explain. Okay, so this is where your HTML page. So now you understand the entire Ionic app project structure. So now I have initialized an Ionic app. Now I obviously would want to, as I told you, I can test it in browser. So I will now test how it looks in the browser. For that, there is a very simple command. Open your command prompt, go to the project directory or folder in a command prompt or terminal, and just type one simple command, Ionic serve. That is all you have to do to preview and test and debug your app. We'll wait for it just a second. So there are few options you can give to Ionic serve here, but we won't give it now. Okay, so the page is loaded. I will show you now. Okay, so this is your Ionic app. Okay, so this is what you get as a blank home page. So it is, if you think, if you are saying it looks like a website, but let me give it in a mobile view. If you are using Google Chrome for this purpose, just type Control Shift I. If you are using Firefox like me, then press Control Shift K M, and you will get this view. So whatever you are seeing this here, this box is your app. This is what the user will see in mobile. Okay, and this is the console.log where all your I will tell how to use it, but if you have any errors, you can paste it here from the app just for debugging purposes. So this is what you get as a blank starter Ionic app. I will just move it side by side. Just a little bit. Okay. Let me reduce its size. Is it still visible? You can unmute yourself and say yes if you want. Okay, so now I will open VS Code and we'll see this. Okay, so now we are starting with that. So this is the first component. The first thing if you see in your Ionic app will be Ion header. So these are basically Ion tags. In HTML, you have HTML tags. It is head, body, and everything. But in Ionic, you have Ion tags. Slightly different, slightly modified HTML tags with better UI and predefined CSS for that. So this is the first component is header, which is this gray thing. So this is your Ionic header. Then it has navbar. This entire is called navbar with this shadow CSS. Then it has Ion title. Okay, so this is your title or the heading of your page. This component is different from this. These are entirely two completely different things. This is like the head tag of HTML. This is content tag, body tag of HTML. Okay. So now I will change the name from Ionic blank to to-do list, which we will build today. Okay. So now I have already enabled this autosave. So as soon as I will stop typing, it will save the file, and as soon as the file is saved, it will reload here. Okay. So let me do it now. It to do list. As you can see, as soon as I did here to-do list, it refreshed and I can see now to-do list. So this is where Ionic has a huge advantage over building apps with Android Studio, Java, Kotlin, or Swift or anything. You can see live what you are doing as soon as you are done editing your app. Okay, so now I will get rid. Okay, so if you this is the paragraph tag which you can write simply as HTML, and this is the anchor tag to add links to your text. Okay, so that is what anchor tag does. So if you see docs is the word here which has this link, and this is just docs which has this link. If I click on this right here and open this, this website. Okay, so in this way you can link apps. We'll be using this site a lot, so just to make sure. So this is what you get as a blank starter page. Okay, so now I will get rid of all of this. As you can see, it's refreshed and I have nothing but just a completely blank Ionic page. Everyone understood till this point? If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, so I'm assuming everyone understood everything. So this is the Ionic framework documentation site. Bookmark this site as I already did. It has everything you want to develop the app from Ionic. Literally everything. If you want a Ionic component, say you want a card, you want an item, you want to implement any native functionalities. It has everything here written in documentation. Okay, so it has all the components you will using this site quite frequently today. And also, if you are developing apps further, you will be using this site. So first, we will go to UI components, basically user interface component, pre-built components. If you see, it has a site demo of what the component looks like, and there are tons of components for you to use. Okay, so navigation menu, icons, grid, daytime, everything. The first component is action sheet. If you click on it, it will show an. Okay, so this is the code. You can simply copy paste it and use it from here, or you can modify for your needs. So this is what Ionic does. It has component built in. You have to just use the component whichever you want to use for your app. So this is alert. Let me show this. If you click on this basic alert, so this is an app alert. If you want alert with input confirmation, or if you want to use it for let's just say checkbox. So this is a checkbox alert. So if you want to use in your app, you can simply use it. It's very easy. So the first component which we'll be using is cards. So this is a basic card. Cards, there are also multiple types of card. Control Shift I for Chrome. Just press Control Shift I after Ionic Server. Okay, so this is first thing is card with header. There is a header and the content of the card and listing cards. You can just, if you scroll down, you will see the slide demo at side by side along with for iOS and for Android. Okay, so this is how it will look in Android. This is the card with list. Then this is image with background image. So you can, there are built-in components. You just have to use it as however you want. You can customize it as long as you want. Okay, so we will use a basic card with header. Where is the card? Okay, so this is the code for the card for header. If you see here, yeah, it has the first tag is Ion card. It will open and initialize the card. It will close here, and then you have a header and the content. So I will just simply copy this code, and now I will paste it in here in the content. Whatever, as I told earlier, this is the what your content is. So I'll just paste it here. Since I pasted here, I will now go and see the changes. As you can see, there is an Ion card already here with heading and this description. Okay, so I will be now stopping this Ionic serve. So if I make any changes further on, you cannot see directly here, since you will get a bit distracted, and it also consumes a little bit of memory. So I will not be using. I'm doing Ionic serve from time to time, but it's not continuously. Okay, so since now we have a card, the heading, as well as the content. Okay, so now I will use this header for the heading of your to-do list or task. So for that, I will just say heading will be, just say assignments. So this is the task I have right now, and this is the content. So I will write complete all the assignments. Okay, so I did the heading and the card description basically. So let's give it a spaces. Okay, so this is what your card looks like. Now I will be giving a new component called button. I will be creating a new button since I need a new page to add the task, to create a new task. So I will just head to this terminal. I will end the Ionic server by pressing Ctrl C or D. Then to create a new page, I will just type Ionic G for generate. Now it has asked what I would like to generate, component, directory, page, or provider or tabs. I would like to generate a new page. So I will just use arrow keys, go to page. Then I will name it new task. It should be done under 10 seconds. Okay, it's done. So it has created a new page where I will see that page, the folder. I will see it here in the pages folder. Okay, so this is the home page which we were using earlier. and this is the new task page. Again, it has the same files. This module.ts is the same as app.module.ts, but we won't bother use or edit this file. So we have still main three files: HTML, CSS, and TS file. So this is the new page you are getting. So I want to navigate to this page from the home page. So for that, we will need a new component called iron button. Okay, yes, I will edit this title a bit. Iron button. So from where I will get info about that iron button, this side, ionic.framework.com/docs/v3. I will now click on button. It's just above card. So these are types of button you will get, and their usage. It's already written here. Just type this in button. Then if you want to set color, these are all different colors. Styling, if you want to do, just write let's say button and color, so it will give color. And round buttons, if you want round buttons, just write round after this thing, so it will give you a round button. Full button, full length button, just need to write full here, so it will give a full button. So this is where Ionic makes your task very easy. It takes care all of your CSS and everything. You just need to write the component name. So we will be using a normal regular default button. Okay, so control C if you, yes, okay. So this is a small default size. Okay, so I will now copy this and I will paste it in home, sorry, home.html, since I will be navigating from there. So in content division, I'll be pasting it here. Okay, so now I will paste it here, control V, and now I have a button. I'll rename this button to go to new task page, and now I will use Ionic serve to check it is here or it's just not serving. Let's wait for it. Okay, so this is the app, and I have now got this button. Okay, let me look like this over the field. Okay, so now I have the home page with a button. If I click, nothing will happen, but if you can see, there is a slight white line moving out, animation thingy. That is again CSS from Ionic. I do not need to do anything. If I were developing using Ionic Storage or Kotlin, then I would have to work on that thing. So now I have a button. Now I will put a function to navigate to new task page. So again, I will open my VS Code. I will now, since it is a function, I will write it in here .ts file. Okay, so now I will create a function to navigate to new page, and I will name that function as go to page. I hope all of you know functions since you are already in second year. So now I have created a function. Now I will use Ionic feature called nav control. So I will now use this dot nav control dot push. Now, so this function will push you or take you to a new page. There are quite a few ways to go to a new page. The first one is very easy. You just have to type the name of the page you want to go as a string. So I will just open this quotes and we will write new task page. Okay, so if you are confused how I know that this is the exact name of that page, let me increase its size. If you want to know how I know if this is correct or not, don't worry, you can check it yourself. I will just go to new task.ts and see the name of this class. So this is basically name of your page. So I wrote this new task page, and so I basically wrote this function, and if I call this function, I will go to new task page. So I will have I need to call this function in HTML now. In HTML in iron button, I will have to just write click event in parenthesis This means that it will what function it needs to perform as soon as you click on this button. Okay, so what was the name of the function again? Go to page. I will write here. Go to page. Okay, so I wrote the click event, the name of the function, and then button name, and so it will call this function every time I click on this button. So where is this? As you can see, and now as soon as I click on this button, it calls the click event and leads me to the name of the page, the new task page I wrote already. Okay, so this is how your navigation works in Ionic. It's very easy. So moving on, I assume everyone is still here. The title, the card, and the button, and this to new page. So I will now tell you a different, slightly modified way to navigate to the new task page. You can try this one if the previous one is not working out. For that, you will need to go to app.module.ts in the app folder. Okay, there in this file, just after homepage in declarations, put a comma, press enter, and write the name of the page. For me, it is new task page. If you are using VS Code, it will help you in auto completion. I will just press enter. As you can see, it is already imported this line. So it is here imported new task page. Again, I will write in entry components new task page and press enter. So I have now imported the new task page in the root folder. Okay, so just like home page, this folder is accessible from everywhere, anywhere, in any page, any component. Now I will go to home.ts file. I will go to this function. I will just comment it out using this. I will write now this dot nav control dot push. Till here, this push function, everything is same. Now in this parenthesis, I will write the name of the page. New task page. New task page, and then this is import line. It should import automatically in VS Code. Okay, so this is done. Okay, now I will just to see if this works. Don't forget to write this click event and the function name in double inverted commas in your and button before this arrow. So I will see. I will click on this, and I am in my new task page. It works. So okay, everyone. Okay, so now we will be taking a new component called ion input. As I told you, I will just click on go to ionicframework.com/talks/v3, click on components, and then input. So these are input components for writing the input. So I will now copy this this floating label. Okay, so it's provided as a good just a user field or CSS. Okay, so now I will copy this. I think I have already done this, and I will go to .html file. Okay, .html file, and done. Okay, so now if I will open my app once again, that is the app, and I will again click on this button. Okay, I think okay, I have stopped Ionic Server. I will start Ionic Server once again. I think I should close this window. Okay. And this is in my view. Okay. So if I click on this page, I should have this input fields. Okay, again, nothing to do much. Just go to this website, ionicframework.com/talks/v3. I'm telling. Then click on inputs and scroll down till you see input arrow floating labels here, and just copy this code and list. Since there are two, so it is a list thingy. Then iron item, this one input along with label. This is a one item or just say a box in which these two labels and input are put here. To complete this entire code, above inline labels, there is a floating label. So just do that. Just copy this and paste it in your new task.html file, since new task.html file in content, since there is where we would want to uh, show this input field. So this is the input field on Vikas page. So now we have two input fields. We'll change their names. I'll go to new task.html. From here to username, I will write title. And now instead of password, I will write description. I will delete this type. It's just to tell the input field what type is it. It's by default it's text, so I will just write text. Okay, so now I have this changed. So this is now title. Now this is description. Okay, everyone. Now we will use one of the native functionality or feature from Ionic Cordova. We will use one of the plugins called Ionic Storage. Okay, so it is to store your data. Whatever you are saying is just static data. We have hard coded. Basically, we have wrote all these things in HTML. It doesn't change if you even if you input anything in your input field. It will not change. For that, we need to store it and retrieve. So what I will do now is I will go to this documentation website. Okay, so I will click on storage. Just ionicframework.com/docs/v3/storage. Okay, and it has beautiful documentation. It has written how to use it, how to install it, and where to put what. Okay, it has even mentioned in which file you have to write it first, and then in second inner pages and everything. So just refer documentation. If you are stuck anywhere, Google, and if you still can't find anything, just ask us. Okay, so meanwhile we'll create a new button in new task page. Yeah, I'm showing, just wait a second. So meanwhile we'll create a new button in new task page to show the uh, to call a function, or let's just leave it. We have already imported a button. Where is the button? Here. Okay, so this is the button. I will simply copy from here. I'll paste in new task in content. I will change it a bit. I will change this function to save task, and this to add new task. Okay, so it's done. I think I'll just try it Ionic serve once again to see if the button is there or not. Okay, as you can see, there is a button. I will just run npm install save and storage. Okay, so this has installed Ionic storage in my app. So just need to run this command npm install -save -ionic -storage. I got this command from this Ionic framework documentation. Now I will use this storage. So for that, first I will need to import it, show it in app.module.ts file as told by Ionic. So I'll just need to just add this one line, copy in imports. I'll just go to app.module.ts imports. This is imports. and I will write that line here. So it's showing error, so I will need to import this storage module. I will have to write import ionic storage module from ionic and storage. Okay, so I have imported. There is no error now here. I have successfully imported in here, and now I will import it in my uh, where I go in new task.ts file. Okay, so I will just simply, I have done nothing till here in new task file, so I will just first import it here. Import storage from at ionic storage. I have successfully imported it in here. And now in constructor, as I told earlier, I will initialize this storage to a variable. I will write to it to a variable. I'll just write it. So now I will add public, since it's accessible from anywhere, and give it a name storage, and then the name of the file I have imported. I have imported storage from here, gave the same name here, and a similar name. This is the red variable which I will be using now to store the value. Okay. So now I will create a new function to store the value. So I will name it function as save task, as I gave in HTML file. Okay, so let me create a new object. Let me name it title. Let us write this is title, comma. This is an object, the JavaScript object. I hope you know object from C or C++. Now I will add description. So this is a key value pair. This is key, and this is the value which we will be accessing later. So I will add this is a sample description. Now done. Now I will store this file into a storage. So as I've already imported storage here, assigned it to a variable. So the only thing left is to store it in local storage. So there is only one command I need to write. This dot storage, I've called storage now dot set. This set function is a thing which will install, which will save actually your data to the local storage of your app or browser. In browser, in its browser's case is cache, or in case of your mobile, it's just your mobile storage. So set. Now there is two things I need to write. One is key, which I will use to access it later, and the after I will have to write value as it is told by VS Code. Okay, so VS Code helps you a lot. I will write key, just name it as key, comma, and value. What I want to store. So I want to store this object data. So it's successful now. Okay, so just only these two things, and it has stored my data in my storage. So now I will go to home.ts file, and I will write a function called in view will enter. So this is a default function given by Ionic. It will call itself every time the page loads, just before the page loads completely. So in this way, I will call all the data from the storage. I will write this. Okay, so I need to import storage once again in here. Okay, so I will import storage from at ionic storage. Again, I have to write the variable name in constructor. Just let me write. Okay, public storage, and once again storage. Okay, so it's done. I have imported storage module. I have assigned it to a variable named storage, and now I will use it. So this dot storage. Now to get the data, the function is called get. Now I will add the key name which I wrote while storing. So that was key. Now then, so what I got the data now what? So for that I will add then, and I will assign it to a variable called val, VAL. So just make sure 2 parentheses, and inside the second parenthesis write val, then put an arrow and open this bracket, curly bracket, and press enter. So whatever value you have in storage assigned with this key, named key, will come up and will be assigned to this value, and now you can access it. So just to make sure, I will, if it is coming or not, I will put this value in console, the browser console. So I will write console dot log, and I will write data is comma val. Okay, so now it's done. I think Ionic serve is not running. I'll simply run now Ionic. Is it running or not? Okay, it's running in the background. Okay, so no need to worry about it. I'll just go here and check it once. And if I come here, okay, so I have not called this function, save task function, anywhere in new task file. So I will just create, okay, this is the save task. Okay, so I have this button, and now I will save this. So I will go to new task, and I will click on add new task button, which will save my data. It has done, it has saved my data, and I will come to this home page, and there is my data. So this is the console.log, where you will you can debug and see what is going on with your app. So I have got this data successfully from the storage, the browser storage. Now I will display this data here. So what I will do is, since where Ionic has Angular under the hood, it has two-way data binding. Whatever variable name I will write here can be used in .ts file too. So I will go to now. Oh, let me close this. It might be creating confusion. So I'll go to now home.html file. I will delete this header. I will open this curly bracket twice and will write title here. Title is the name of the variable, double curly braces, for two-way data binding, that is in both HTML as well as in .ts file. Again, I will delete this here and we will write description. Okay, since now I have title and description, and now if you will open this file, you have nothing. This card is completely blank, since we have not still given the value to the title and description variable. For that, we will now go to .ts file. Just above the constructor and below the export class, and in this open curly braces, I will give the all the variable names I have given in .html file. That is this title variable as well as this description variable. So for that, I will just above constructor file, make sure it is just about constructor. So I will write public, then variable name title, and variable type. I will write any, since it could be a number or a string. Same for, you can define it, restrict it strictly to a string or a number individually, but I will write any for both. Public description. So I have defined these two variables. Each variable is same as here. Whatever value I will assign here, this two variable will be shown here. Okay. So now, as I mentioned earlier, IonView will enter this function is a default lifecycle function from Ionic. This will execute itself on its own. No need to press any button or link it anywhere. It will execute itself as soon as the page is about to load, just few moments before that. So now I have got the data from storage. I will now assign it to the variable. So this dot title equal to VAL, since the entire object is stored in this VAL, in then the bracket and the individual object data name. So here it is title name. This key name is title. I will write title here. TITLE. For description, I will do the same, description and description. And it should show if it is serving well. See. So now I have title as well as description from storage. Okay, so I guess everyone is with me till now. Everyone has created till here. Everyone can now easily store data in their storage, and then retrieve it. Okay, so now still I have yet to store data returned in these input fields, so we will do that now. Whatever we stored was just static data. So I will now assign input field a variable name. Again, two-way data binding from a module called ng model. So let's write this ng model. Here. Just a second. So ng models equal to variable name, since it is a title only. So again, I will use the same variable name called title. That is small. And same thing for description. I will write this ng model. Make sure ng is small, m is capital. Okay, so there is a root nd there. So it's ng. And now again, the variable name will be here, description. So I have now assigned these input fields. Where are these input fields? Yes. Okay, so these are the input fields, this field and this field. Now these two have their individual variable which is now assigned to them, and using these variable I will now store data and retrieve them. Okay, so again, once again I will have to declare them here just above yes, any storage does not exist homepage because it didn't, I think we did not import that. So let's check what's the concept. So just above constructors, you will write the variable name, again public, title, variable name, variable type, any. It could be a string or number for say. Then another variable called description, and type any. Make sure these names are same as you wrote here, exact spelling to spelling, word to word. Since now I have declared variable here, now I will store these data. So instead of this string, I will simply write this dot title. Instead of this string, I will simply write variable name, that is this dot description. Again, everything is remains same. I just deleted this string here, the default string, and change this to variable. Don't get confused. This key is different. This key value is not accessible outside this object data unless called upon, but this variable is. So you can change it if you want, or else just leave it. So it's done now. I guess it should work. Let's just check and see. I'll go to new task page. I will store some data. Task description and add new task. So I guess it is stored. Just click button once or twice and go back. So here is my task and here is my description. Whatever value I wrote here is stored in storage, taken from the storage into the home page, and is now being shown here. Okay, again, if I change, let's just say write new task and this, make it full screen. And this is a new sample description. I'll just click on this storage function. It will call upon this function, give task function. In this data, it will assign this title, whatever the input field I wrote, to this title data object key, in description key, and it will store in storage. So I have now stored this value. I'll just go back to my home page to see if it works. Okay, so it works. Just write background color. And let's just say we'll just save the CSS file for once. I think there are some errors. Okay. So this is how you store data. You retrieve data. You go to a page. You write input fields. You write labels and everything. One more thing. you can write in new task is as soon as you click on this function called new task, as soon as you call in this function new task, you would want to close this page. Okay, like if you click on this new task and this page is closed. For that, there is one thing you can do after this line. Just make sure, because the interpreter compiler will read from top to bottom, execute line by line. I will just write this dot nav control dot pop. So this basically pop, what does it? It pops the page from stack. Okay, so in Ionic, what it has is uh, it puts page on top of one another as soon as you navigate to by using this called push function. So it will put a home page. If you push to new task page, it will put new task page on top of home page. If you push to another page, it will put on top of that. So if you write a pop, it will pop the new task page from the stack. Let's just try it out. I will write new task 3. This is a SAMPLE sample description 3. Okay, so as soon as I will click on this function button, it closed the page and I have my view.